Good morning. It's Monday, August the 21st. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we are live on this Monday morning. And welcome back to classes at HCC as our fall semester 2023 officially starts today. One man who's very busy this morning, making sure adding those classes, Dr. Nicholas Cox. He is the History Department Chair. Good to see you, Nick.
Thanks, Todd. It's good to see you again. How was your week?
It was a good week. Last week was extremely busy. You know, we had a board meeting. We have a lot going on. And then we've got our interim chancellor who'll be starting soon. So we're preparing a lot of things in communication. So it's going to be crazy busy. And to top it off, the main thing, though, classes start today. Today's the day that you will be starting the fall semester of 2023. And I know it's always a busy time of year for you.
That's right. We were quite busy with preparatory meetings and professional development last week as well. But now today, it's all about that focus on the students.
That's right. And if you didn't get registered for today, do not fret. We have a second start semester that starts, in a couple of weeks, Nick?
Yeah, it'll start in mid-September. So students can certainly enroll for fall classes that start in September right now.
Okay, so keep that in mind. We'll tell you about it more later on. Hey, thanks for being here on this Monday morning. By the way, it's still blazing hot out there. 23 days straight of over 100 degrees. It's crazy. Yesterday afternoon, Nick, I think it registered as 108 degrees in this area. I'm up in the Cypress area, but man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I saw the report that if we hit 109 at the airport, it would be the hottest day on record in history. So we're close. We're getting closer every day.
Insane. And it looks like there's no relief in sight, folks. I'm sorry. We thought we'd get some tropical weather this week. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll have to bear with it. But thank you. Stay indoors. You can watch the show, of course, at the comfort of your own hands. We are live every weekday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. You can watch us on your mobile device. You can watch us on your laptop, and they can catch the show literally anytime. We'll rewatch it in social media and on HCCTV, Nick.
That's right. Although we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube, but we're also on Twitter, now known as X, on LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right, Nick, stick around. Of course, you'll be interviewing this next guest. We'll be talking to a new HCC guest about career paths in human resources in other areas. Dr. Violeta Vasquez joins us now. She is the program director for HCC's Continuing Education Business Program. Violeta, welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Todd.
Thank you for being here. We're looking forward to hearing about all the great programs you guys are showcasing. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to kick things off. A returning guest from HCC's counseling department talking about conflict resolution. Morgan Tuck is with HCC's Northwest College. She's a counselor and also our Mental Health Monday guest. Morgan, good to have you with us on the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about, whether it's a human nature that we're not going to get along with everybody. There's going to be conflicts, whether they're personal or at work. So it's important to learn how to resolve those logically, friendly, right? Or at least trying to be. So let's start with the definition of conflict resolution and what are the components?
Absolutely. So a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement is the essence of conflict resolution. Definitely not always about necessarily getting everything that you want, but trying to find a happy medium. The goal of negotiation with your opposition is to come up with an agreement that everybody can benefit from. And just for a few points on conflict resolution, it can definitely help understand more about those people that you're in opposition with, right? So understanding maybe their ideas, their beliefs, their backgrounds that may be different from yours, that may also explain why their point of view is different. It also can help ensure that the relationship that you have with this other person can continue to grow. So when we have a conflict with a person, we want the relationship not to end. We want to try to work through it. So being able to resolve the conflict can help the relationship. And then obviously just finding peaceful solutions to very difficult situations is just going to be beneficial in general. So.
Morgan, you're saying there are 4 easy steps for conflict resolution. Maybe you can go through those and talk about them.
Absolutely. So the very first step is going to be to define the source of the conflict. So many issues arise from miscommunication, right? Like, I thought that you meant this, or, I misinterpreted, what you said. And so really trying to figure out what is the actual source, what is the actual problem is going to definitely save a lot of heartache. So really just making sure that we have all of the information, and everything is accurate and there's no sort of miscommunication. The more easy information that you have, the easier it can be to resolve it. Another thing is that you definitely want to try to be empathetic. So try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to understand their point of view as you are trying to figure out exactly what the source of the conflict is.
Okay. What's the second step? Okay.
Yes, it's going to be to try and avoid making things worse. So obviously when we get upset sometimes and we get very frustrated, we say things or do things that we don't necessarily mean, but that can cause the situation to be worse. So when you are coming to the table to really try to resolve the problem, you want to make sure that you keep everything kosher. So we want to make sure that we're always respectful, we're taking accountability for our actions, and also being humble. And depending upon how volatile the situation could possibly get, it may be a good idea to have some ground rules in place as well.
What about step 3? Is that about working together?
Absolutely. So you definitely want to work together. Conflict resolution is a team effort, right? And so everybody has to be on board. Everybody has to be committed. So you definitely want to go in with the proper mindset. So you come to the table with the idea that I'm going to be open and I want to have a resolution in place. Something that you can also do is make sure that what we call in counseling is active listening. So that means listening and not necessarily waiting to respond, but really sort of internalizing what the other person is saying. And it typically helps to make what we call I statements. That way you are speaking from your own individual point of view versus more accusatory when it's like you, but it's better if you can say, I feel hurt when, or I need to feel, or I need to be X, Y, and Z. So broaching it from that standpoint.
What if you are reaching an impasse? Let's get to step 4. Can you simply agree to disagree on the subject?
Absolutely, because to be honest, especially after one meeting, you may not necessarily be able to completely solve the problem. And so sometimes agreeing to disagree is going to really be the best outcome for everybody. But you want to really try to focus on meeting halfway and commit to that particular thing. Really focusing on what you can do in the here and now, and really focusing on the present. You can brainstorm together with the other person or incorporate other people and just really try to troubleshoot the most feasible ways to resolve the issue.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it appropriate in some cases, if two people just aren't agreeing, to bring in like an outside counselor or confidant or somebody who can look at it, objectively and come to a resolution or a suggestion?
Definitely, Todd. A mediator can really, really be beneficial because, again, sometimes when you're too close to a situation or it's very emotional for you, it's difficult for you to sort of think straight and always, trying to be sort of diplomatic, right? They can be very. So if you have a person that can be objective, right, and not biased towards either party, but can really sort of keep everybody intact, that's going to make a world of difference. And my last point I would just say is really to make sure that you know when to let something go. Sometimes, we try to resolve it, time has passed, we've tried certain things and it just does not work. So you sometimes have to come to the conclusion that, this is sort of where it is, and I'm either going to sort of accept the reality of my situation and really let it go so it doesn't continue to harp on me. And then you definitely want to make sure that you keep in mind that you don't have any control over what another person does or says, but you have absolute control over how you respond to it. And so your response is where you want to keep all of your focus in.
One thing I've noticed, particularly during the pandemic and a bit before, people tend to act a certain way via email, online and their social media presence, and maybe in virtual meetings. Do you suggest these type of meetings be traditional old face-to-face meetings in person, or is it appropriate to try to do it virtually with your cameras turned on?
Yes. So I think the best would be try to have it in person. It's just something about being in a room with somebody, right? And being able to really be vulnerable, really being able to sort of pick up on those emotions. But the reality of our life, we live in a virtual world. And so if having a conversation is not necessarily feasible in person, I do believe having like a live virtual setup can be equally as fit. But definitely you want to be able to have your camera on and try to be as engaged as present as possible.
Morgan Tuck is an HCC Northwest counselor and our Mental Health Monday guest. If people want to get a hold of you, can they reach you through your email? What's the best way to do so if they're with the Northwest College and they want to speak with
you? Absolutely. So we do have our website. You can reach us at hccs.edu/counseling. That has all of our information. We do a wide array of services for all of our students. But as far as contacting me, you can send an email to our department, which is NW for Northwest. So nw.counseling@hccs.edu.
All right, Morgan, thank you for being here. We're going to have all your information in our social media posts. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, we're going to turn things over to Nick, and you got a special guest new on the show.
Yes. Welcome to the show, Dr. Violeta Vasquez, Program Director for HCC's Continuing Education Business Program.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nick. Thank you for having me here.
Certainly. I suppose as directors and chairs of large departments, we could probably use some of those conflict resolution strategies in our jobs, no?
Yes, absolutely. Taking note of that.
Well, welcome to the show. I hear that HCC's human resources students can finish a certificate program in just 10 weeks, potentially earning up to $60,000 at an entry in a job. We want to talk about all your programs, but let's start with that.
Nick, we are seeing that organizations are increasingly recognizing talent as a top priority and the importance of HR professionals whose role has never been more critical to industry. The CE Human Resources program offers real-world education, and the program is essential for anyone wanting to advance in their HR career or anyone wanting to move in a new direction. The program is designed to allow students to learn and grow in an HR profession, all while enabling them to develop impactful HR strategies that will improve their personal and professional goals. And as you mentioned, yes, this week, what's exciting about it is that this program can be finished in just 10 weeks. The HR program is composed of a course series, and we have it available online and hybrid. And we also have scholarships available to help students complete the entire program.
Well, Dr. Vasquez, could you tell us a little bit about the continuing education business in a kind of more general terms? What's the larger goal here for our students that are taking continuing ed programs in the business side of the program?
Yeah. Well, continuing education business program is under HCC's Business Center of Excellence. And CE Business in general, it's the non-credit business area where we offer certificates such as the CE Human Resource, Logistics, Forklift, Project Management, QuickBooks, Paralegal, and so forth. So again, whether our students are seeking to have a career change or they simply need to reskill, upskill, CE Business is committed to providing outstanding instruction and services to help our students achieve their goals.
Now, I understand there's going to be some funding changes across the state to community colleges offering continuing education. Dr. Remily Young discussed the passage of House Bill 8 and the positive impact that will have on your program. Can you tell us what you anticipate?
Yes, we are learning about House Bill 8 is that the new funding model will award most state funds based on student outcomes. This will be a game changer in elevating the capacity of community colleges to build talent, strong workforce throughout the state. Nick, we are also learning that continuing education programs will play a pivotal role in the new funding alignment policy and funding incentives of the workforce and the community colleges. So this is very exciting, and this is very wonderful news for us at continuing education.
Yeah, it sure seems like the state is really interested in expanding programs exactly like the one you direct. And I'm glad to hear that HCC is ready for that expansion, ready for that money, ready to serve those students. Could you tell me what are micro-credential certificates?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Micro-credentials are short, non-degree certifications in specific area of skill or knowledge. CE Business has launched a new suite of short-term micro-learning courses that have been trimmed and strategically designed to focus on specific relevant skills that will help individuals meet the demands of changing industries and become more valuable to employers.
What are some examples of something a student could earn a micro-credential certificate in?
Some of our examples are, we have the human resources, we have the Lean Six Sigma project management and QuickBooks.
Well, what is a digital badge? How is that different from a micro-credential?
Well, the digital badges are web-based and they're clickable and then have a unique verifiable metadatabase. And what they are is students, when students learn a micro-credential course in the areas that I mentioned, like human resources or project management, they can also learn these digital badges. And while they do that, they can also earn at the same time college credit, so they can start in a pathway to a credit certificate or a college degree.
So the digital badges and the micro credentials are, as I would say, sort of stackable. They can lead toward certificates at the level
that's
1,
correct.
level 2. Okay, all right. What are the most popular micro credentials or digital badges that our students opt into in terms of the programs they choose to take?
We have the human resource, as we mentioned earlier, and project management have been the most popular ones.
Okay, all right. Well, tell us a little bit about your logistics and forklift certificates.
Yes. We have what we have done in the logistics, the CE logistics, is that we have combined the Certified Logistics Associate and Certified Logistics Technician courses into 48-hour fast track class. And this is a program that can be completed in just 8 weeks. Students can learn the movement and control of material and products through the process of manufacturing and distribution. And this is what the certificate, the course, the curriculum is aligned with the Manufacturing Skills Council, known as MSSSC, which means that this is what we call national marketable skills. And what this means to us is that students, once they successfully complete the program, they're eligible to sit for their MSSC exam. In addition to that, under logistics, we have the Forklift Operator Certificate, which is a training course for new or current operators. The course is only 7 hours, and the training includes theory lecture, and hands-on training, and it meets the OSHA requirements. And we also have scholarships and financial aid available for these programs.
Wait, I want to clarify. The Forklift Operator Certificate requires 7 hours of classroom instruction?
Yes, so it's 7 hours. It's a one day, and it's 7 hours, and that includes the theory. One part of the beginning of the lecture, it's theory lecture, and the other part is the training and examination.
No, that's really great to hear. I'll tell you a quick personal story here. When I was in college, I had a really good friend that worked for one of the local grocery stores, and they got him forklift certified, and he very quickly took that over to Costco, where they paid him a lot of money to operate the forklifts, to lift the pallets up and down on their warehouse retail shop floor. Every now and then I think about my job, all the emails, all the grading, and I think about playing with a forklift, and I'm jealous of my friend who got to do that for a long time. And I understand that there's just simply more demand than there are certified forklift operators all across this, whether it's in industry or in retail or wherever.
That's correct.
Do you sense that, like the human resources, that both logistics and forklift certificates, that there's a huge demand for those careers as well right now?
Absolutely. There certainly is. We are looking constantly try to stay informed. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, they are reporting the increased need on these areas, and also report those minimum salaries that professionals can learn under these areas.
Well, unlike the academic calendar, which is, fairly traditional with a long 16-week term in the fall and spring, you guys tend to offer certificates, programs, and workshops kind of all year round, continuously. If students were interested in these continuing education programs, when would they start? What would be the beginning of the human resources or logistics certificate programs?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, so we are on the C side, which is, as I mentioned, the non-credit side. We have our semesters pretty much start as terms. We have Q1, Q2, 3 and 4. So we did have some classes begin on the 17th. For instance, since we're talking about forklift, we pretty much try to offer a class every weekend. Most of the students that sit in this class, they have daytime jobs. So we try to have flexible schedules. So we have the forklift, they start, for instance, in this one, Q1 will consist of we're offering one every weekend. And the next quarter would start probably like in November. So we try to have a robust schedule available for our students and in different campuses. Not only we're housed in Southeast, but we also have more classes throughout the campuses.
Well, thank you very much. If I ever really do get tired of my job, I might get that forklifter certificate and go work with the big trucks. All right. Well, thank you. We will have your information in the post after the show. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, we've got a few announcements to go through before the end of this show. Faculty exhibition is happening out there at HCC Southeast Wedge Gallery. It is free, of course. Erica Garrett's round wall sculptures made of plaster cloth and other materials have a double meaning, referring to the shapes of her work and to the saying about sticking to your own circle of friends and peers. Today also marks the opening of faculty exhibitions around the entire HCC session. It goes on now through December 8th, HCC Southeast Wedge Gallery. Check our events page for more information on this. And there's also a food giveaway that's happening at the Missouri City campus very soon.
That's right, Todd. HCC partners with the Houston Food Bank, offering free groceries available to HCC students, faculty, and staff through the Community Health Market Trailer and Houston Food Bank. This is offered at all HCC campuses. No pre-registration is needed, but go early because items do run out. The next event is coming up on Wednesday, August 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the HCC Missouri City campus Community Health Market Trailer. Check our post after the show for more information.
HCC's police department is reaching out to our students and community with Coffee with a Cop. This time it's happening at the Northline campus. HCC police will meet with students and enjoy a cup of coffee. 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Wednesday, August 23rd, HCC's Northline campus. Check our post after the show for more information. And we have work-study fairs to help you pay for college, Nick.
That's right. Next week, mark your calendars because students eligible for work study can attend HCC's upcoming Path to the Profession job fairs. Remember, students can secure part-time work while in school where they earn $15 an hour. First up on August 28th, Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be Central College. And then on Tuesday, August 29th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Northline campus. Check our post after the show for more dates and registration info.
Classes start today. Students are back in school, and we have student life tips for you. Take a note of Student Life's note-taking presentation, the first of several now that classes have begun. If you feel you could improve your skills or you find that studying does not lead to the grades you want, you can learn from these very successful methods. More come later this fall. The first one, effective note-taking, is August 29th. Test-taking strategies, August 30th. Eagle Chat tutoring, August 30th as well. All virtuals, all of them are virtual and on Teams. Check our post after the show with more information, how you can join them. And as we mentioned, classes underway today. You can still register, though, for fall 2023 with our second start semester, Nick.
That's right. Even though the regular term began today, we have other sessions, shorter sessions. We've got 12-week sessions starting in September. We've got that second 8-week session beginning in October. So fall students still have plenty of opportunities to complete classes this semester. We've got classes in the online anytime and online on a schedule modalities. We also have in-person classes and in-person labs, and we have hybrids for in-person classes and labs as well. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options for costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, tomorrow is Tasty Tuesday, and we'll be talking with the folks at Seven Brews Coffee. Check that out. And we'll also spotlight HCC's translation and interpretation program. All that and more tomorrow. We got a full week ahead of us. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a hot one. Stay indoors. Join us live. Nick, thanks for being here.
Thanks again. See you next time.
And we'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. live for Up to the Minute.